Kia ora and welcome to Civilization 6's Leader Royale, which kicks off on the 20th of May and runs through for around 2 months. Now, they've done this before. Take a look at this PC Gamer article tweeted by the associate producer of the game when they did this in Civ 5. And let me tell you, this got tense. It actually hit the front page of PC Gamer. This is a big deal to determine the ultimate leader in Civ's. This is the breakdown that they've offered. They've offered up on their Twitter page. You can see 32 leaders across 8 pools to determine the final best leader. And you can see there on their Twitter is how you vote. Each week, you'll get a chance to vote for your favorite leader. Really simple, really easy to engage with. So, let's chat each of the group pools and determine maybe our top picks, who we think will win, and provide some analysis on this ultimate competition to determine the best leader in Civilization 6. Let's start with Group 1. It's Gilgamesh, Cyrus, Lady Six, and Lautaro. I think that Gilgamesh will win this group hands down, right? He's a big meme, he's a fan favorite, a very strong leader. My personal pick would probably be Lautaro, though. I have to say, I prefer the Civ over Gilgamesh, but I think that Gilgamesh just has to do it. He's such a big, strong tank of a meme. Group 2 has some heavy hitters again as well. We can see Spain, the Mongolians, Norway, and then of course the beautiful Tamar at the end. Now all of these leaders, I think, have a pretty strong following behind them. My pick is Spain. I love Spain. And that would be my personal favorite. However, I suspect probably Genghis Khan will take it out, right? How could you go against the Khans? But I just think since the last update in particular, Spain is a really fun and fascinating civ to play. So Spain will probably get my vote. Shifting over to Group 3, we can see a strong female lineup in Group 3. Cleopatra, Gorgo, Gitaria, and Frederick Barbarossa. Now, Germany, Frederick Barbarossa, obviously the best civ out of that group. Potentially one of the best, probably the second best civ in the game. And I think that Germany won't win, though. This is my hot take. I suspect we might see Cleopatra or Gorgo take this one out. But we'll see. It's going to be a really hot competition in Group 3, ladies and gents. Week 4, Group 4, going up against Group 3, we have Montezuma, Hammurabi, apologies for the pronunciation, then we have Gaul, and Pachacuti. Oh my goodness, the pronunciation, absolutely brutalized. I think Montezuma will win this group. He's always been a meme, he always will be. Montezuma, you gotta take it out. Should we go on to the quarterfinal? No, actually, let's discuss the rest of the group. So, Group 5, you can see Alexander, Japan, Scythia, and Vietnam. I suspect Japan to win this, probably. A very solid civ. I would be very surprised if Japan doesn't win that. Group number 6 is, I think, probably the most lackluster of the groups. I think this group will perform pretty poorly in the quarterfinals, but we shall see. So we have Catherine, we have Basil, we have Shaka of the Zulu, and finally, Eleanor of Aquitaine. Some pretty bad civs, some pretty unexciting civs. I honestly don't know who will even take this group out. Catherine Demichi is the most traditional of the group, so she could have that running along behind her, just in terms of how many games she's been in, how long she's been in Civ 6. Or maybe the Zulu will take it out. Very strong. We'll have to see. Group number 7, I have to admit I have a little bit of personal bias here. Kupe of the Māori Empire will be receiving my vote. # New Zealand represent. However, there are some really fascinating civs in this group, and I have to say Portugal is probably my favourite to play. So I won't be mad if Portugal beats Kupe, but come on guys. Let's rally behind Kupe. Let's at least make New Zealand get to the quarterfinals, please. It'll be the first thing we've made it to the quarterfinals to in anything except rugby in a very long time. And finally, the last group, Group number 8, another one very dear to my heart because it holds Peter the Great. However, you can also see it's got Mansa Musa, it's got Robert the Bruce of Scotland, and also, of course, the mighty Roman Empire. So actually, a couple of big heavyweight civs here, Russia versus Rome. My pick is Russia, and I would be quite happy if it's a quarterfinal of Kupe versus Russia. But we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, shall we do that now? Let's think about our picks for the quarterfinals. So I think moving through from Group 1 and Group 2, it's going to be Gilgamesh versus Genghis Khan, or Gilgamesh versus Spain. But let's say it's Gilgamesh versus Genghis Khan. I think Gilgamesh takes it. Group 3 versus Group 4, I'm gonna say Montezuma versus Cleopatra or Frederick Barbarossa. And I think that Montezuma will come out on top. Germany, my follow-up pick, but we'll go Montezuma. And then in the semi-final for this group, it's probably going to be Gilgamesh versus Montezuma, and I think that Gilgamesh will take it. Hot take, but I think he can do it. Over on the other side of the table, we're going to probably see my pick, Japan versus Catherine de Medici of France, and Japan will win that and move through to the semi-finals. Then we'll have, hopefully, Coupe versus Peter the Great, and my personal bias is shining through. I'd love to see Coupe win it, but realistically, probably Peter the Great. And I hope that Peter the Great will make it through to the final. My picks for the final, it's Peter the Great versus Gilgamesh. However, I do think that there is a case for Montezuma replacing Gilgamesh, but we shall see. Your pick. I really hope you're letting me know down in the comments below and I don't have to beg you and ask you. But if you're not, come on, jump down, have a look, have a pick with me. Let me know who you think's going to take it out. I think in our final, I hope that Peter the Great will take the victory and be named the #1 leader of all time. Obviously, follow-ups in terms of pure strength in the game, Germany and Japan are the other two stronger civs, as I've covered in my strongest civ guide. If you want to check that out, it's on the channel. But I think that either of those three could go through based on strength in the game. But we also have to remember there's a lot of memeing around this, right? A lot of these leaders are quite memey and have a sort of a subculture that's developed around them. If you think about Gilgamesh as one great example, right, of this big sort of strong, brute, ancient era leader, that's one of the reason why I think that Gilgamesh will push through into the semis, through the quarters into the semis, is because of that meme culture. So we can't really predict it, right? It's like the stocks, it's like the crypto market. We can't fully predict it, but let's see what happens. Anyway, that's my pick for the Civ 6 Ultimate Leader Royale. This competition is going to take a while to play through. We have 4 weeks to decide these heats, and then probably more weeks to decide the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So it may not be for a month or two until we see the end outcome. I was thinking it might also be fun to run some polls on the channel, on the channel's community page. Let's see if we agree with the Civilization Leader Royale on Twitter. I think that could be fun. So also keep an eye out on the community channel page. I'll be posting those there as well. Otherwise, that'll do for this fun little recap video. I just wanted to throw this out there that, hey, look, this is happening. It's a big deal. Last time it happened, it was a big deal. And this should be really fun and hopefully inspire some future content on the channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, and let's see who can take out this competition, ladies and gents. I'll catch you in the next one for the Civ 6 Leader Royale.